Good morning, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the break, right? So, back to the session. Now, I'd like to invite Sri V. Venkateshwar Rao sir onto the dais. And also, I would like to invite Ms. Pujita Lakshmi. And also, I would like to invite Ms. Pujita Lakshmi to introduce the uh, honorable guest.
It is my privilege to introduce our esteemed guest today, Mr. Velagapudi Venkateshwara Garu, a distinguished entrepreneur, industry leader, and an expert in environmental waste management. Mr. Velagapudi Venkateshwara Rao, a distinguished individual born in 1957, he is the son of Sri V. Nageshwar Rao, a retired assistant general manager of KDCC Bank, and his mother Vandanamma. Mr. Rao is a graduate in commerce from Acharya Nagarjuna University in 1977 and has completed articles in chartered accountancy with Brahmaya and Co. Vijayawada in 1981. His career spans decades of dedication to business excellence and social responsibility. He started his professional journey executing civil contracts for roads and bridges in Panchayati Raj under the Public Health Department of Andhra Pradesh. Between 1981 and 1985, he transitioned into the consumer goods sector, serving as a distributor for leading brands such as Tata Tea, Tata Oil, Mills, Marico Industries Limited, and Wipro Limited for about a decade and a half between 1985 to 2000. Additionally, he was a distributor for Supergas simultaneously for a period of 3 years around 1998. In the year 1999, he started Safe Environ Private Limited exclusively for collection and disposal of biomedical waste in Vijayawada. His organization operating under a tripartite agreement with Vijayawada Municipal Corporation and the Indian Medical Association Vijayawada chapter. Has grown under his leadership. Safe Environ Private Limited has developed a high professional system with trained manpower, a fleet of vehicles, and well-established waste treatment plants. Mr. Rao is also a licensed operator of the AP Pollution Control Board after the establishment of biomedical waste treatment. Biomedical waste. Mr. Rao is the president of Aqua Devils Welfare Association since 2023, managing a swimming club on the banks of Krishna River with over 2,300 members and as vice president of the Vijayawada Club since 2023. Mr. Rao has had a remarkable journey excelling in business, environmental sustainability, and community service. A keen lover of sports, he represented Andhra Pradesh in the National Ball Badminton Championships in 1982-81 and secured third place. His passion for the sport continued as a key leadership roles as an office bearer in the Krishna District Ball Badminton Association. Beyond sports, he is an active Rotarian with an impressive record of service. He has held several key positions, including President of the Rotary Club of Vijayawada East during the year 2007 to 2008. Also served as a Director of Vocational Services in 2008 to 2009, Assistant Governor during 2009 to 2010, and regular chairman for public image in 2010 to 2011. His contributions to Rotary District 2020 spanning six districts from Krishna to Srikakulam has been an active participant in all major Rotary service projects and multiple Paul Harris Fellow in distinctive made all members of his family and Paul Harris Fellows by contributing $1,000 each to Rotary Foundation, and he is a major donor by giving $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. On the personal front, he is married to Srimati Rajeshwari, who works with Bank of India and is a proud father of two accomplished daughters. Vandana, an environmental engineer, masters in hazardous waste management at Texas in USA, and director at Sage Envon Private Limited. And Nikita, an architectural engineer from SRM University, Chennai, with further specialization in interior decoration from Pratt Institute, New York in USA, currently working as a project manager at O'Neill London Architects. With his extraordinary contributions to business, sports, and social services, Mr. Vellagapudi Venkateshwar Rao stands as an inspiring figure for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Vellagapudi Venkateshwar Rao garu.
Thank you. So I think you got tired since morning 9:30. I don't take much time. What Rajesh Jampala has asked me is, your business is a case study. Explain about yourself. Yes, I am here to explain what I am, how I entered this business. So before that, I just give a little introduction. Respected faculty and the students of the college, distinguished resource persons, ladies and gentlemen. I am extremely honored and delighted for being invited by PB Siddhartha College of Arts and Science to act as one of the resource persons in today's national seminar. I am sure that you have been immensely benefited by the presentations made by the dignitaries as well as other resource persons. Me too. Really, I got a lot of inputs from Mr. Balakrishna. I am asked to dwell upon waste management and sustainable practices, which of course my functional area to some extent. I take this opportunity to tell you what biomedical waste disposal is and share my views on the subject apart from the sustainable waste management practices. As the saying goes, the small deed is nobler than the greatest intention. It is this belief which took me this area of activity and believe every one of us can do something for environment protection in our daily life. If we spare just 10 minutes of time to observe what is happening around. Now I touch upon how the pollution, in which solid waste is an integral part, has started damaging the environment. Way back in 1960s, the Economic and Social Council of the UNO cautioned the mankind that modern scientific and technological developments started making profound change in the environment, and if they are not properly handled, and the lives of the people in the universe would be affected in one way or the other. After that, the UN General Council Assembly passed a resolution and appealed to all the governments of various countries in the world to take appropriate measures to protect the environment from being degraded, degenerated, and check the pollution levels and ensure healthy life to the mankind. The much talked about a summit held in Brazil in 1992 set a clear agenda for the environmental protection in all the countries in the world. The World Health Organization, in its report in 1996, stated that almost half the world's population suffers from diseases associated with water, food, and soil, and insect-borne diseases. I am sure that the report of 1996 has proved its point because it has become a reality now. Uh, Take, for example, diarrheal diseases, fevers including hepatitis virus, cholera. Perhaps you have not forgotten what happened in Surat in 1994. Anyone is aware of this? What happened in 1994? Because during my days, we used to read about plague. Yeah, during the Second World War and well before that. After that, plague was not seen anywhere. But in 1994, we witnessed people dying of plague in Surat. You know the reason why? Indiscriminate, throwing the waste indiscriminately onto the roads. And all the canals, side canals were filled with waste, and lots of rats. They were developed because of the waste available, and that causes the plague. And our Telugu person S.V. Rao, who came as the commissioner at the time, and he found the reason how it is happening, and the people are so panicked, so they hear him what he said and followed the waste management, properly disposing the waste as per the norms prescribed. Within 6 months, normalcy is restored. So fear is the key always. You want to make your habit, you should fear for what is going to happen. So the latest dengue fever. Can you guess why these diseases are spreading? The answer is simple. The reasons are growing industrialization, urbanization, and poverty coupled with growth in population. Understanding the importance of environment protection, which is a very large area, and committing to protect the well-being of the nation and its people, the Government of India evolved a national conservation strategy and made a policy statement on environment and development because both environment and development should go together. In India, the central government classified environment problems into two broad categories: those arising as negative effects of the process of industrialization and development, those arising from conditions of poverty and underdevelopment. The recognition of the urgent need for the Government of India announced regulatory measures as well as promotional measures to check the menace of environmental degradation. Many institutions are established, many laws were made, and regulatory authorities became functional even at the village and mandal level to check the pollution levels and reduce the factors which affect the environment in daily life. My dear young friends and respected faculty, despite the action taken by the Government of India and the respective state governments, I have no hesitation to say that pollution as a process of contamination of environment has assumed greater proportions, throwing greater challenge to all of us living in this country. Let us speak facts. Our natural resources are getting depleted. Rivers, lakes, and other water bodies have become highly polluted. Water table is going down. The green cover is receding. Wastes are being produced on such a large scale and at such fast rate than they can be reused and disposed of properly. Today we are all living in a state of highly damaged ecosystem. In such a large area of environment, pollution, which includes water, air, land, soil, forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife, and the interrelationship which exists in between these elements and human beings, I touch upon the very tiny part that is biomedical waste. So I thought of telling you about the sustainable practices, which our Balakrishna Garu has given excellent presentation. So I'm skipping that. I know it is very difficult to you to hear several times. I go direct into my area of biomedical waste. So in that, as suggested by uh, Rajesh Jampala, so I have to tell you how I come into this line. So I am a commerce student. I did my C articles as it is introduction. The girl has told you. So after Brahma and Company completing my articles, I joined my brother's civil contracts for about 2-3 years, and then I started my consumer products distribution. That's how I went to Ongole, where the super gas agency was taken. Akada, I will tell you in Telugu because I can explain you more near to you. అక్కడ ఒక ఐఎంఏ ప్రెసిడెంట్ గా ఉన్నటువంటి డాక్టరు ఆయన వాళ్ళ హాస్పిటల్లో ఉన్నటువంటి ఫార్మసిస్ట్ ని ఎంకరేజ్ చేసి 2 రిక్షాలు కొనిపించి ఆ ఊర్లో ఉన్నటువంటి డాక్టర్లందరినీ మీరు ఎంతో కొంత ఇవ్వండి అతనికి ఈ విల్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ది వేస్ట్ యు ఆర్ జనరేటింగ్ విచ్ ఈస్ హజార్డస్ నాట్ గుడ్ ఫర్ ది హెల్త్ ఆఫ్ ది పీపుల్ అని చెప్పి 2 రిక్షాలు అవి అంటే మోపెడ్ టైర్స్ తో ఉంటాయి అనమాట, స్పెషల్లీ మేడ్ ఇన్ చెన్నై. అవి తీసుకుని వాళ్ళు కలెక్ట్ చేసి రోజు మున్సిపాలిటీ దగ్గర ల్యాండ్ తీసుకుని ఒక పిట్ తవ్వి దాంట్లో ఒక ఐరన్ మెష్ వేసి దాని మీద వేసి యూజ్డ్ ఆయిల్స్ వేసి తగలబెట్టేవాడు. It's a very crude method, but something is better than nothing. That's what they were doing. And it so happened when I took the super gas for the entire district, I used to appoint Mandal wise. It so happened he is my franchisee for Ongole Mandal. He took me there and he had told me how he is doing. So I am closely associated with at the time the mayor T. Venkateswara Garu's family, and he works a lot on waste management. Actual solid waste, he encourages several plants, just like waste to menu and biomethanization and pellet making, like the 3 projects he used to work. He is very interested in solid waste management. So I told him, this is what the people of Ongole are doing. Why don't we introduce here biomedical waste? Then he told me, you come to the office at 4 o'clock. I went there and he explained how they purchased an incinerator which is costing about more than 10 lakh rupees. And the maintenance of the incinerator was told by their engineers that it is costing 1 lakh a month in those days when diesel was 10 rupees. So he called the IMA and APNA people to share 50% of the expenditure to maintain, because the corporation is not having that financial muscle to spend 1 lakh only on biomedical waste, which they refused. We are paying tax, why should we do that? So without any helpless, so they kept quiet. And he took me, after that he said, why don't you handle it? I'm a commerce student, you better talk to some people connected with pharmacy or something, they can do better than me. Then he said, this is the problem with you guys. Nobody wants to come into waste management. Everyone wants to throw stones on us. And when I give an offer, you people are not accepting. Then I took it as a challenge. I went there in detail. I learned how he's doing. He's doing in a crude method. Then I came to know that it is in the hands of the pollution control board. I approached the pollution control people. They gave me, we don't know anything. Recently, we got a notification that is biomedical waste management and handling rules of 1998. The first management rules on biomedical waste. They kept the notification aside, and the AE of the PCB, he took it and gave it to me. You go through it and you can do something if you can. Then I read it and I went to him, sir, I am ready to handle. He took my hand from the mayor's chamber to the police commissioner's office, and Arvind Kumar was the mayor, commissioner at that time. Arvind, this is the man we are looking for to handle our biomedical waste. He introduced me to him. Arvind was such a active IAS officer. Next day afternoon, I got a call from his Peshi that there is a meeting with doctors at 3 o'clock. I went to Ongole in the morning. Really, I rushed down to the office. By that, all the doctors were sitting there before him. Many of them, because I am a local of Vijayawada, I know many of them. Then he asked me to talk. I don't have anything to talk because I know very little about biomedical waste at the time. So I said, I am ready to handle the biomedical waste if you give me permission. Then after 2-3 meetings, we come out with he asked me to come every day morning 10 o'clock to the office. He allowed me to sit side of his table for 1 hour, 2 hours. He is attending his work, and at the same time, in between gaps, he used to talk to me. What are the development that are happening world over? Because at that time, internet was very few people have. He got that internet. He used to tell me, in America, incineration is banned like that. We discussed a lot for 1 month. Then we decided how to collect the waste. That's how the bins were collected from Hyderabad. He told me the bin should be having inner layer and it should be properly useful for this. Then I brought 3 bins I put before him. He was so impressed that this is what I am dreaming of. The bins are rightly suited for the collection of the biomedical waste. So after some time, the doctors still refused to pay the money, monthly charges. Then he said, unless you come to the way, I am going to stop collecting the waste from your hospitals. I am not demanding you pay this much. You pay as you like. You held a meeting in your office and come out with what you want to give to the operator. Then they had a meeting and they gave a price list that clinic 50 rupees and hospitals 100 rupees and gynecology and ortho they want to pay 300 and corporate and government hospitals 500. At that time, corporate are only two, Nagarjuna and Ramesh, and government hospital. So he told me, Venkateswara, you do for 3 months. If you get loss, then I will try to recover in some way or the other. And they offered me to give tractors free of cost. I said, no, tractors are needed, not needed. Because they estimated in Vijayawada every day the waste, biomedical waste will be coming around 3 tons. In my estimation, it is coming less than a ton. So I purchased 2 autos and having the bins in it. And we got it inaugurated by Simadhi Sachinarayana Garu, Minister for Forest at the time, in government hospital. So that's how my legacy of this waste management started in 1099, June 19th. It's almost 25 years I am in this line. So collecting waste is really a miserable job because doctors refuse to use the bags. He said, we are giving 50 rupees. If you want to use the bag which is costing 2 rupees, I have to spend 60 rupees on that. No, we don't give. Then there is no alternative because the bins get stinking because of the waste, the kind of waste it is. So then the health officer suggested use sodium hypochlorite, which kills any odor. So that's how we used to manage. And later, after so much persuasion, we made the doctors to use the bags. After 3 months, when my accounts I submitted with a loss of 25,000 for 3 months the operation. Then he said, how to recover it? You have any idea? Then I said, I found that the entire waste, 75% is waste is coming from 15 hospitals. We are covering up more than 100 at the time. So you name it, I named it. Then he made it 3,000, 2,000 like that for each hospital and make the project viable. That's how I sustained and I break even and I started. So in 2002, I constructed my plant. Hearing the news at the time, only two TV channels were there, ETV and Gemini. So they telecasted my operation, a new kind of business. It's not business, it's a service. I am doing as an NGO at the time. So seeing the TV, Dr. Kolli Sarada and Dr. Mr. M.T. Krishnababu, now I think Principal Secretary for Health, he was the commissioner. He conducted a meeting in all the hospitals and he put 1 rupee per bed per day. This concept was started by M.T. Krishnababu, per bed per day, this thing. So that's how he made everything ready and they called me and handed over the Gunturu city also. That's how it became a profitable operation. And I constructed my first plant in Chinnakakani in 2002. The first plant was made by JJ Multiclave in Hyderabad, later Ramki, and Ramki spread all over the country. And I remained here due to my family problems because I have two daughters. My wife is working in bank, so we are the youngest of the family. So my parents, her parents are with us. So we had to take care of six people. So I can't take risk of going out. Otherwise, I also had the zeal to start many plants, but I confined to only for city. And later I extended to Guntur district and Krishna district, having two plants. And then the PCB, which make me to take over the West Godavari plant, which is not being properly maintained by the doctor who is the owner of that plant. That's how I am operating three plants in Krishna, Guntur, and West Godavari, the old districts before bifurcation, and I am doing it right now. So I started with 100 hospitals. Now I am handling more than 4,500 hospitals and healthcare establishments. So after that, all over the state, the plants were started, and we are comfortable, no doubt. The act also, I was telling Balkishan Garu after his speech, the act was so good and protective for us. The techno-economic viability is the prime reason for sustain of this particular field of activity, because they don't give permission for anyone who applies. So every 5 years they have to conduct a gap analysis, and if there is a gap between the waste generation and the adequacy of the plant, then and they have to compare it for the coming for 10 years also. So they earmark an area where the additional generation of the waste they assume, and for that area only they have to appoint a new facility. That is the protection given by us. And recently they conducted a gap analysis, and they found that every plant is having 2x capacity when it is compared with the waste and the our plant capacities. So I will show you some of the slides of our plant. Where is it? Because the first presentation is about the sustainable management of different waste, because already covered by Balakrishna sir, so I am just fast forwarding. So this is what biomedical waste is. You see a lot of news in the papers. One of it is in our area, Guntur also. So these are the things. This was the situation in 1999, 2000, and even up to 2015. What is biomedical waste? Any waste which is generated during diagnosis, immunization, treatment, or, or research activities of human beings or animals pertaining thereto, or in production of testing of biological or in health camps, including categories mentioned in Schedule 1 appended to these rules. This biomedical waste is being, which is generated during the diagnosis, immunization, and treatment, or in the research activities, is known as biomedical waste. How much waste generated actually is harmful? Very strange. it is 5% of the waste generated by the hospitals is hazardous and 15% is infectious. Remaining 80% of waste is the general waste. Unless they segregate the waste properly, the entire 100% waste becomes biomedical. So segregation is the key for the success of this biomedical waste management. Possible health risks, you all know that HIV/AIDS, hepatitis, gastrointestinal infections, respiratory problems, skin infections, bloodstream infections, intoxication, and many even radioactive also to certain uh, waste factors. This is the controlling authority is Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India. They provided guidelines from time. So far, 1998, the first biomedical waste management rules were made, and in 2011, they drafted the rules, and 2016 is the rules that are prevailing at present, and they are very comprehensive and in detail. Every point is taken care. If the opportunity comes, you go through the 2016 rules to understand more about the biomedical waste. So it is applicable to hospitals and operators. This is the authorization, and the PPE is very important in handling the biomedical waste. So the segregation is in 4 categories. Earlier they used to have 10 categories and the color coding. Now in 2016 rules, the color coding itself become the segregation of waste. So the biomedical waste shall be segregated into containers or bags at a point of generation in accordance to Schedule 1 prior to its storage, transportation, treatment and disposal. So these are the 4 categories. So duties of the occupiers, they should not throw the waste like this and they had to keep in the right bins. So bags, they had to use bags red and yellow, non-chlorinated plastic, because yellow bag goes for incineration and red bag goes into the autoclaving. And these are the symbols they had to carry on the bags as well as on the vehicles, which is carrying the biomedical waste, biohazard and cytotoxic. And this label should be printed on the bag, and everything that has to be filled by the hospitals when they put the waste in that, the date and time of the waste being generated. So these are the bins that are used in the collection of the biomedical waste. So this is the this is the posters we supply to all the hospitals for awareness and proper segregation. So in yellow, we have to keep human anatomical waste. Human anatomical waste is the part of human tissues, organs, body parts, and fetus below viable period. Viable period is 20 weeks. So before that, it is biomedical waste. After that, they have to give it to do it in the normal format of the fully formed by patients. Animal anatomical waste. Animals, carcasses, tissues, organs, body parts, including waste generated from animals used in re-experiments of testing in veterinary hospitals, colleges, or animal house. So discarded linen, that hospital beds also they had to change at a reasonable time. Microbiology and biotechnology, other clinical laboratory waste. Laboratory waste earlier it is in the red category, now it is taken into yellow category. And before handovering this laboratory waste, they had to disinfect through autoclave in their hospital and then hand over to us. So these blood bags earlier it is in the disinfection side, and now they made it mandatory to use the non-chlorinated plastic for blood bags, and then they had to keep in the yellow bag. So this is about the treating of the laboratory waste. I go a little fast because only thing is I had to give you the case study and the details of this process. I want to give an outline to you all. So these are the rules for handling cytotoxic drugs and which are to be disposed at a temperature of 1200 degrees centigrade. So this type of incinerators are handled, are being erected only at TSDF, that is hazardous waste incinerators. At mostly in Andhra Pradesh, it is handled by Ramki. Chemical liquid waste. So they should have, after neutralizing, they should have a the that effluent treatment system, and then only they have to put it in the into the municipal collection center. This is how liquid chemical waste treatment, they had to do pre-treatment before neutralization. This is the poster we give for the contaminated waste recyclables. That is mostly tubings, bottles, IV sets, catheters, urine bags, syringes, with or without needles, and vacciners. This comes in red category. Blue, we have broken and discarded contaminated glass, including medicine vials and ampoules, except those contaminated with cytotoxic drugs that has go to the incineration at the hazardous waste incinerator. So these are the things they had to keep in blue container. And white items that may cause cut or puncture, like needles, blades, scalpel blades, and other sharp items, they had to keep in the white jar with the sodium hypochlorite solution 1%. So sharps, they had to keep it minimum time of 20 minutes. And never recap the needle. That is a slogan we give to the hospitals. Even today, I can say 90% of the needles are coming after recapping. Every possibility is there. When you try to recap the needle, it fires into your hand. So if a needle is given to a patient and immediately if it fires into your hands, I need not explain what will happen. So that's why we used to tell them, all the nurses and ayas who are handling this waste, to at least we don't have a needle shedder, you press it against the wall. By that, the needle gets turned, and even the syringe also will be, they cannot use it again, because that is a big menace, reusing of the syringes also. We advise them to press it against the wall if you don't have a cutter. So these are the cutters which cut the hub of the syringe. By that, syringe cannot be reused. We promote this BD Emerald, and these are also available in the market. And it is for the general waste. And you can fill the bag not to the full, and 3/4 of the bag only you have to keep the waste, and then you have to tie it like this and weigh it and record the weight on the bag also. That is sent for the record for the pollution control boards. And you should not carry the trolleys inside the hospital. They have to carry away from the patient's beds. And these are the storage rooms suggested at the hospitals. And when we collect the waste, we weigh it and give a manifest to them, that the number of bags and the weight of the waste collected. So this is how they have to keep it for the annual report. Now it is barcoding that is recently introduced. So this barcoding, when you go with we go with a weighing machine which is having the recording facility, and through the mobile phone at the driver, this once the weight is recorded, and it one shot it goes to the hospital, pollution control board, and to the CPCB also. Even all the places at once, the waste is collected immediately. They say we can transmit to them using the technology. So vehicles are connected with GPS, and we have to collect the waste within 48 hours of its generation. So it's a fleet of vehicles. Right now we are having about 45 vehicles and a staff more than 150 members working with us at all the 3 plants. And it is the compartments in the vehicle. The segregated waste we keep in yellow and red. And this is about the GPS. Getting bored? So waste, how we collect, and these are the 3 categories that goes for the different disposal systems. And it is a waste storage room at our plant, and it is for the red waste. And after collection is completed, our vehicle should be washed every day. And This segregation waste, yellow waste, what we collect will be disposed through incinerator. These are the two chambers you can find out. It is auto feeded, and the waste we burn at a temperature of 850 degrees centigrade. Suppose a dead body in the crematorium, they maintain a temperature of 600 degrees, but this waste is burned at a temperature of 850 degrees. Even the bones also, it won't you don't find, everything turns into ash. But at the crematoriums, you have the bones, that is called astikalu for our rituals. So in the secondary chamber, the suspended solids and the toxic air is being burned at a temperature of 1050 degrees centigrade, and then it will pass through the scrubbers, wet scrubbers, and the temperature will come down to below 100 and will be allowed only the hot air through 30-meter high chimney. This is the secondary chamber and scrubbers, and this is the chimney. You can find only the hot air going out of the chimney. So this is the PLC, Program Logistic Control. So where the temperatures are continuously recorded and transmitted to the Pollution Control Board. Now they have the IP cameras also installed, and they can watch anytime how we are disposing the waste as per the norms or not. So this is the online stock gas analyzer, continuous analyzer. This is also being reported to the Pollution Control Board. Now we are having the four parameters. I will tell you to recollect again. Yeah. This is, we send incinerator ash to the TSDF at Nellore and at Vizag also. This is a certificate they give after taking the membership. So this is the landfill, secure landfill we maintain to keep the encapsulation of the needles and glass also till we dispose to the licensed vendors. So red and white collection will be disinfected in the autoclave, where we maintain a temperature of 121 degrees centigrade with 15 psi and with a residence time of 45 minutes to disinfect about 70 kg of the waste collected in red and white jars. So this is the shredder. After disinfecting the plastic, we shed into small pieces and send into the authorized recyclers. And this is chemically disinfected. After that, we send to the authorized recyclers, that is collected in the blue container. So this is treated waste storage room, where we keep the treated waste like plastic and other things till we hand over to the people. And it is the effluent treatment plant to treat all the water used in the process. Nearly about 3,000 liters of water we use every day, and will be treated through this ETP. So as I told you, segregation is the key for success of this particular service. So these are all the duties, and we conduct in-house workshops also to create awareness to our staff and to other people. They visit our plant at least 3-4 teams every month. So we used to explain how we do what we do in the plant. Actually, from medical colleges, the third year community medicine, the students will come about 2-3 teams every month. So our people are trained to explain how we operate the plant there. So these are all the workshops we organized. On behalf of the Pollution Control Board, I organized more than 350 workshops all over the Andhra to create awareness on the rules of 2016. So this is what the segregation system maintained in the hospitals. This you can see, this IV bottles have some value, market value. So what they do is rack pickers, every day they collect the bottles and they sell to the people. What happens when they sell syringes and bottles? They refill with the furious water and sell it as a saline bottle. So when you use it for your patient, so nothing happens. Only he will given passport. So that's why it's become a big menace. So we caught hold of this lady, and she went to the police station and put a case in reverse to our supervisor. Simply the police officer took our man and put in the cell. Again, I had to influence through the pollution control board and got him released. And this woman was warned by the police not to collect the this saline bottles again. That's how we stopped in Suryaropeta. It's about more than 10 years earlier. These are all the duties. You will get more bored if I explain everything. These are the reports every day of how much value of the volume of this waste collected and disposal, also incinerator working times, everything we had to report to the pollution control board every day. So accidents also we had to report immediately because of the nature of the waste, and we had to disinfect the area and give a complaint to the PCB how it is happened and the remedies taken. And this is useful for you also, hand wash. Hand wash 7 steps. Everyone should follow, and we used to explain to the nursery staff of the paramedical staff to go for it before taking their lunch, because very important. If telling 350 times, even after bath also I go for the breakfast, I again wash my hand in the wash basin. To that extent, we should make our habit of hand washing always. So mercury is very dangerous. It is in thermometers and the BP operators. If it is spill is taken place, you have to open all the doors to allow the gases that are generated in the mercury. And a small quantity of mercury can contaminate 20 acres of water body. It can contaminate. That much problem it is. These are the effects of mercury spilling. And these are the precautions suggested for that. So it's nothing but a poison, mercury is. So there is a big presentation on mercury, actually how to handle. This much mercury can contaminate a 20-acre lake, only 2 drops of mercury. So these are all our plant staff being trained at the regular intervals. So supervisory staff in the plant. So this is the green belt. In 2002, when I started, it was like this. And 2004, 2008, 14, and 18, and now it is 18, and this is the present stage in 25. So recently, the International Waste Management Summit happened in Nagarjuna University about 6 years, not recent. So they made it a point to visit our plant at the time. So this is a team coming from about 7, 8 countries, different people, delegates, they visited our plant. So he is the head of this, Mr. Joshi. And the plant is revamped, and we constructed new plant, removing all the things because 25 years over. So I rebuilt the plant, and even the machinery also, everything is changed now. So this we have a conference room and office and everything we have here. So this is a new incinerator and the 30-meter high chimney. This is the water body. This is our staff, some of the staff, and it is our address. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Thank you. I hope I finished fast in half an hour. Thank you very much for your patient listening. But one thing I want to tell you, as I told you, to look around for 10 minutes every day, you find a way, you find your life. Because that's how I come into this line. I'm a commerce student, I told you earlier. I will give you one more example of circular economy when he's touching. I was approached by Hindustan Lever people to dispose of their shampoo sachets, which are outdated. Each they call it danda, that is about 12 pieces are attached. So they said, how many pieces you have? They said 2, 3 lorries. Then I took permission from the pollution control board to dispose this, and I started the lorries coming. And we had to take out the shampoo from the sachet. So I employed about 20 women, and I gave them blades to tear open this thing and put the shampoo in a tub. So only hardly 50% of the shampoo is coming into that. Then I thought how to recover the total shampoo. When I was passing on the road, I had seen that sugarcane తీస్తారు తెలుసు కదా, machine ఉంటుంది. అది చూస్తే నాకేదో ఒక ఆలోచన వచ్చింది. ఇమ్మీడియేట్‌గా ఆటోనగర్‌లో ఫౌండరీలో ఉన్నటువంటి నా చిన్నప్పటి క్లాస్‌మేట్ మిత్రుడిని అడిగాను. దీన్ని ఎలా చేయొచ్చు అని ఐ సెంట్ సమ్ 10, 15 దండాస్ టు దెమ్. సో 2 సిలిండర్స్ ఒకదాని మీద ఒకటి పెట్టి గ్యాప్ లేకుండా దాని మధ్యలోంచి ఇది వెళ్ళేలాగా ఒక చిన్న గ్రూవ్ ఏర్పాటు చేసి పెట్టారు. అండ్ హాఫ్ హెచ్‌పీ మోటార్. యూ బిలీవ్ వితిన్ 3 days ఎంటైర్ 3 లారీస్ వర్ ఓవర్డ్ with only 5 people. Just 5 people. And then, okay, it's fine. We got the shampoo, everything, even the you don't realize there is a shampoo in that effective they worked అన్నమాట. షాంపూ ఒక చిన్న పీస్ కూడా లేదు, దాంట్లో మొత్తం వచ్చేస్తుంది. సో నా దగ్గరగా ఒక 70-80 బ్యారెల్స్ ఆఫ్ షాంపూ వచ్చేసింది, ఆఫ్ 200 liters. దాన్ని ఏం చేయాలంటే వెహికల్ వాష్ వాళ్ళకి వీళ్ళకి ఫ్లోర్ వాషింగ్స్కి ఇద్దాం అనుకున్నాం. సిద్ధార్థ మెడికల్ కాలేజీకి అడిగితే మాకెంత కావాలండి, ఒక 50 లీటర్లు కావాలి నెలకన్నారు. సో అలా ఎవరిని కన్సల్ట్ చేసినా కానీ అది అయ్యే మార్గం కనపడాలి. అప్పుడు నేను ఈ లైన్లోకి రావడానికి ముందు కన్స్యూమర్ ప్రొడక్ట్స్ ఏజెన్సీ చేశాను. దాంట్లో నాకు గుర్తుంది భారత్ సోప్ వర్క్స్ ఇన్ గుంటూరు. ఐ యూస్ టు సప్లై దెమ్ యాసిడ్ స్లరీ. సో ఆయన్ని ఈ మధ్య రీసెంట్గా చనిపోయారు, పేపర్లో కూడా వచ్చింది. అతని పేరు వేలు, తమిళియన్. భారత్ సోప్ వర్క్, సంస్కారవంతమైన సబ్బు అని యాడ్ వచ్చేది, 3x. Yes. అతన్ని అప్రోచ్ అయ్యాను నేను. I have this shampoo. Can you take it? Because I know that they use acid slurry, almost the same qualities in the shampoo. That is a better quality because we apply human application కాబట్టి చాలా మంచి క్వాలిటీ slurry ఉంటుంది దాంట్లో. So he said, I don't give more than 20 rupees to you per kg. I was prepared to sell him for 5 rupees. He offered, I don't give more than 20 rupees. Then I said, fine. So immediately we disposed the thing. హిందుస్థాన్ లీవర్ వాళ్ళకి ప్రతి చోట ఉన్న ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటంటే, ఇది ఇలా డిస్పోజల్ ఫెసిలిటీస్కి ఇస్తే వాళ్ళు ఏం చేసేవాళ్ళంటే వెనక నుంచి మార్కెట్లోకి అమ్మేసేవాళ్ళు. మళ్ళీ వాళ్ళు పట్టుకుంటే చాలా సీరియస్గా కేసులు పెట్టేవాళ్ళు. బాంబేలో కూడా అదే జరిగింది. నన్ను కూడా కాషన్ చేశారు చాలా మంది. ఐ నెవర్ రిసార్ట్ టు సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాక్టీసెస్. నాకు అది అలవాటు లేదు అలా చేయడం ఎప్పుడు కూడా. సో దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ వీ మేడ్ ఇట్. అండ్ దే వర్ సో ఇంప్రెస్డ్. ఇమీడియట్గా నన్ను అన్నారు, మా తమిళనాడులో కూడా కొంత ఉంది, తెప్పించమంటారా అన్నారు. సరే నేను అనుకున్నా ఇంకో 2-3 ట్రక్కులు ఉంటుందని తెప్పించమన్నా. యూ బిలీవ్ 20 trucks of shampoo sachets they sent at one time, and all the lorries are standing outside the Guntur. The sale tax people, they raided on that where it is going without account. So they come to the factory and they have seen that already shampoo is expiated and all. They realize it's something. So that legacy has continued for about 6 months to dispose of that 20 trucks. That's how when you use your brain, always you get a solution, good solution. But you have to be serious on that and work on it properly. This is my message for you. Thank you.
It's a great message, sir. It's a lively case study. I strongly believe that's why I insisted him to go with these experiences. So a commerce graduate could do this. Why not MBA graduate sitting in this hall? Obviously, yes. I mean, normally to do business, you need not do MBA. That also you should understand. Business is common sense, application of logic or application of common sense in a larger scale.
We used to, every day we used to spend our time as a children in the river only. So when we are grown, we shifted to tanks of this year, recorded more than 500 people have participated, coming all over 4 states. So swimming is a must, I feel, for all the people. Hardly I have seen 10 hands raised out of these 200 or more people. So everyone, boy or girl, my both daughters are good swimmers. So you also should learn swimming. నాకు తెలిసి ఈ సృష్టిలో మనిషి ఒక్కడే ఈత నేర్చుకోవాలి. ఎందుకంటే పక్షులు కానీ ఈవెన్ ఎలిఫెంట్స్ కూడా నీళ్ళలో అలా దిగంగానే ఈతడం స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాయి. మనకి బుర్ర ఎక్కువ కదా, అందుకని భయపడి మునిగిపోతాం. నథింగ్ ఇస్ దేర్. స్విమ్మింగ్ నేర్చుకోవడం అంటే ఏం లేదు. యూ హ్యావ్ టు సింక్రనైజ్ యువర్ బ్రెత్, అంతే. దట్ సింపుల్ ఇట్ ఈస్. ఇఫ్ యూ హోల్డ్ ద బ్రెత్ ఇన్ సైడ్, మీరు మునగమన్నా మునుగురు. అందరూ అడుగుతారు ఎంత లోతులో ఈతారని అని. 6 అడుగుల పైన ఎంత ఉన్నా ఒకటే అది కదా. మనం ఇదే పైన కదా, నాట్ ఇన్ సైడ్. సో 6 అడుగుల పైన ఎంత ఉన్నా కానీ ఈత రాదు అనుకుంటే మునిగిపోతాం. సో ఇట్స్ 20 feet ఉండొచ్చు, ఒక్కోసారి 30 feet ఉండొచ్చు, డజంట్ మ్యాటర్. సో ఐ అడ్వైజ్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ లెర్న్ స్విమ్మింగ్. సో ప్రతిరోజు మృత్యు అంచుకి వెళ్ళి వెనక రావడంలో చాలా ధైర్యం ఉంటుంది. ఆ ధైర్యం మిమ్మల్ని జీవితంలో ముందుకెళ్ళడానికి బాగా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది.
Yes, swimming every day has to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. That gives you discipline, health, and wealth also. Lot of good connections. No, without all rich people will speak. All poor people will think about other stuff. So be disciplined to become wealthy person in Vijayawada. So I request my our Vice Principal Dr. M. Manoranjani Madam to come and join with me to felicitate our chief guest. Yeah, we are coming to the almost fag end of this particular seminar. We want to close the seminar with the technical session from inside. Inside means our Vice Principal Dr. M. Manoranjan will present about the green sciences. You know, green chemistry. So she is going to present us and take through the journey of how science is becoming green. So everything should become green. That is the message. But anyhow, sciences are coming forward. She is actually the HOD of Department of Chemistry. She is a PhD graduate, and she guides research scholars to be awarded with PhD. And she published more than 50 research papers in the Scopus Index journals. And she is the vice principal of this particular college.
Good afternoon, all of you. I thank our Dean Sir, Professor Rajesh C. Jampala Garu for his kind introduction. And maybe I am the odd man out here. All of you are business graduates. But whatever it may be, when it comes to the case of sustainability, building a sustainable future, each and every faculty will play a role. Faculty in the sense chemistry, biological sciences, arts, whatever it may be. So today I am going to introduce you to some green principles. So let me begin. Please start. So please change the slide. This. Okay. So first of all, let us have a brief introduction. The need of sustainability. We all know that industrialization and technology has improved the quality of our life. We are enjoying several products like drugs, cosmetics, dyes, paints, and agrochemicals like fertilizers, insecticides, herbicides, etc. But on one side there is development, on the other side we have to pay a price. What is that price? Our collective human health and global environment is being threatened. Then we can see how it is threatened. Our bodies are contaminated with large number of synthetic and industrial chemicals. Some are toxic, some are carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means cancerous. And then how does it happen? Because of the chemical contaminated food, air, water, and dust. Even the developing fetus is also directly exposed to the chemicals in the womb because our body is being contaminated. So many chemicals enter the food chains. Example, pesticides, flame retardants used in the furniture, electronics. We dispose small batteries also. We just throw them as we like, but they enter into the food chain because the animals, while eating the garbage, these batteries and flame retardants, they also enter the food chain. So again, it has come to the first slide. So, okay, this one. Cancer rate is also rising. Heart attacks at a very young age, we can see. So we can also see that there is link between some chemicals and birth defects. Some have low brain development, learning disabilities are there. So that doesn't mean we should stop industrialization. Can we afford to stop industrialization? No. The answer is very clear. What is the key challenge? We have to combine technology with the environmental safety. Just going back. Okay. So, what is sustainability? It is meeting the current needs without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. So, this sustainability involves. So it involves balancing economical, social, and environmental considerations. So basically, I am a chemistry person. So the heading is what is green chemistry? Don't be worried about chemistry. I am not dealing with any chemistry part. But simply, I would like to say one thing. It is a chemistry. It is basically deals with preventing pollution. Nobody can eliminate pollution 100%, but we can consider approaches which prevent pollution. So, how green chemistry or green science is different from traditional chemistry? Traditional chemistry tells us to manage the hazards or the risks involved in a process, whereas green chemistry it teaches us to eliminate hazards right at the design stage. That is the difference between traditional chemistry or traditional science and green science. So, what are the benefits? Lesser waste, economical, energy efficient, fewer accidents, safer products, and most important, healthier workplaces and communities. It protects human health and environment. So, basically, there are 12 principles on which green chemistry is based, and they are designed by Dr. Paul Anastas and John Warner. So, overall, green chemistry is all about reducing hazard, risk, energy, cost, waste, and materials. Just now we have seen waste management. It is the first principle of green chemistry, or you may call it as green science. So, Paul Anastas is a father of green chemistry. So these are the 12 principles on which green chemistry is based. So we just now we have seen the first principle, that is reduce waste or treat up or clean up waste. It was a very interesting lecture, sir. So we all have heard. So I'm not going to touch all the principles, but today I'm going to concentrate on energy efficiency. So this is the sixth principle of green chemistry. That is, energy requirement should be minimum. That means try to minimize the energy which we use in our daily life. Let us be practical. Okay, so today there is overconsumption, lot of overconsumption. For example, in this summer, we know each and every house at least one AC, minimum one AC. If there are three bedrooms, we have three ACs, a cooler or whatever it may be. So there is lot of power cut also. Why there is lot of power cut? Because of overconsumption. So where are we getting this energy from? Heat, electricity, basically. So This heating, cooling, or stirring, we know compressors we use in AC, refrigerators, so pump sets, and all these things. They require energy, that especially electricity. This is obtained by burning fossil fuels. By burning fossil fuels, we know carbon dioxide is generated into the atmosphere, and this results in global warming. So, in the context of energy, what is the meaning of sustainability or sustainable energy? Using energy sources that are environmentally friendly or energy sources which are readily available. For example, solar energy. Okay, it is an environmentally friendly. Then it can be maintained without depleting the resources. So it should not cause any harm to our planet. Then prioritizes renewable resources. So when coming to the case of energy, there is renewable energy and also non-renewable energy. And at the same time, whatever the source from which we take, it should be energy efficient. And it should also reduce greenhouse gas emissions and also pollutions. So basically, in the beginning, I said green chemistry is nothing but an approach to prevent pollution. So now, first of all, let us have a look at the non-renewable energy resources, mainly fossil fuels. So fossil fuels generate heat and electricity. What are the day-to-day examples? Coal, oil. So we use petrol and diesel, and also natural gas. At homes, we use um, this gas stoves and all. So if there are four members in the family, at least we have minimum two bikes, minimum one car. So we are using all this oil and petrol. That is also overconsumption. And what are the disadvantages here? Burning results in emitting greenhouse gases. We don't have a pollution check for our vehicle. We are not bothered about it, but each vehicle reduces lot of generates lot of greenhouse gases if pollution control is not there. So apart from greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, all these spread on the earth like a blanket, and they deplete the ozone layer, and because of this we are experiencing high temperatures these days. We are getting alerts also in our phone about the rising high temperatures. This is the reason, because the ozone layer protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays from which are coming from the sun. And the gases which are being emitted in the atmosphere, it is depleting the ozone layer, because of which there is rise in temperature. And these are the actual sources of world energy which are available: hydro, nuclear, biomass, gas, coal, and oil. So non-renewable energy is harmful because of these reasons which I have already told, because they emit greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and other things. Next, it is harmful for our life, day-to-day life. High temperature causes skin problems. Then what is the solution? Solution is we are going for renewable energy resources. These days there is lot of transition from non-renewable energy to renewable energy resources. For what are the renewable energy resources? Sun. So we are seeing solar panels being set up on our rooftops. So we are trying to use the solar energy, wind power. There is also wind power, water, because the force with which the water comes, that is converted into the energy. Then heat from the earth. Our earth is containing lot of heat at the core. So there are some plants which are tapping that heat energy which is present in the earth. That is called as geothermal energy. And biomass. It is basically the energy obtained from the dead materials of plants and animals. So, what are the benefits of using renewable energy? The sources are they are around us only. We can see those renewable sources around us. It is cheaper, healthier. It creates employment. And for example, there is lot of transition from petrol vehicles to battery vehicles. So we are using two-wheelers, four-wheelers, etc. So this is tapping the hydro energy. So what is biomass? So there is a picture. Carbohydrates, that means sugars. We know when we talk about diet, we all talk about carbohydrates. So carbohydrates in the world, there is 75%, 20% lignin and 5%. So this is the entire biomass, but human beings are able to tap only 5% of this biomass. With the help of this, we can generate biofuels also, bioplants. We can set up bioplants and use them as a renewable energy resources. Because we know plants 3 months crop, 6 months crop, 1 year crop. They are renewable. Whereas the petrol, it takes billions and billions of years for formation in the underground. But we are using it at a faster rate. Consumption is more than the formation. So that's why there is a great need for the industries to switch over to renewable energy sources. So fossil coal, oil, natural gas, they are decreasing and there is a great pressure on the environment. So there is progressive changeover of chemical industry to renewable feedstocks or raw materials. So all living materials, non-animal renewable resources, example trees, crops, they all can be harvested as biomass. So as I already told you, only 4% is used by man. The rest is decaying and recycled in the natural pathway. Now research is going on to tap that remaining amount also. So going green. So let us be practical. Change should begin with us only. Change should begin in the individual. So what are the various ways you can bring the change? We normally see switch off the lights and fans before use in the colleges or classrooms, but we don't bother. So one of the sustainable practices, we have to minimize our energy consumption when we are not using it. So whenever we see a light or fan, it is our responsibility to switch it off. So that's how we can save energy. Digitalization. So everything is being digitalized. We are reducing the usage of paper also. Then we can get our vehicles pollution check time to time to avoid emission of harmful gases. We can nowadays there is lot of transition to battery vehicles. So I think you can see green generators also. They noise pollution. They decrease the noise pollution. So and one of the renewable resource is petroleum, plastics. This is very important. Plastics are landfilled. We can see lot of plastics every day. And one of the, this is obtained from petroleum, which is again a non-renewable resource. So materials from our agriculture or biological process are renewable. These days research is going on. They are preparing green plastics. Green plastics which are obtained from plants and crops. This is, I will show the slide where you can see the process. The crops, they use sunlight, we all know that. And as I already told you, carbohydrates, that is nothing but sugar solution. So after fermentation, it will generate a chemical called polyhydroxyalkanate from which green plastics are produced. The advantage of this is these green plastics are biodegradable. They are biodegradable to carbon dioxide and water. So they easily get mixed up in the atmosphere. If they are not biodegradable, what happens? They remain in the atmosphere for thousands and thousands of years. Because we know the chemical composition, the plastic, it is not biodegradable. It remains as it is in the earth. Because we know there is lot of survey going on. Our students are going helping the communities to remove all these plastics also. The one thing is it takes again millions and millions of years for biodegradability of the plastics. So if you want to burn the plastics, again it is a pollution. You can see at home, you can just see, try to burn a plastic, black fumes come out of it. So again it is a pollution. So what is the solution? These days policies are there. Government is banning these carry bags and all these things. So we cannot completely avoid, but there is one policy: reduce, reuse, and recycle. So that is the only one way. And see, this is how plastic is damaging the earth. Water table. The water table is going down and down because we are disposing the plastic bags as we like. So it is forming a layer inside the earth crust and it is not allowing the rainwater to percolate into the ground. Because of that, the water table is going down. సో మనకి our chief minister శ్రీ చంద్రబాబు నాయుడు గారు ఆ ఇంకుడు గుంటలు he brought out that concept to raise the water table. So this is very important. See, by looking at this picture, we should be aware and we should create an awareness, and it is the responsibility of each and every individual see that how we dispose the things. How we dispose the things. So let us all carry one cloth bag, keep it in our vehicle, and reuse it again and again instead of building lot of carry bags at home. So that's why I said change should begin with us only. Change should begin with us in our family, then only we should teach others. So we have seen two things, energy and also the plastic. So we cannot completely avoid plastics, but we can reduce. We can reuse it. These days, lot of YouTube videos or reels using plastic bottles to grow plants in the garden also. So I have Ooty, I have seen one a compound wall built with plastic water bottles and also unused tires, disposed tires also. So how to go green, reduce, reuse, recycle. So the practical examples are there. Some examples for reduce, some for recycle, and also some for reuse. So these are some practical. We have to save water, which is our natural resource. These days, nobody is using groundwater directly. We know what is the reason. That is the reason is pollution. We are responsible for pollution. We throw the garbage. We think we are throwing it out of our house, but we throw it at the other people's house. So the municipality will come dry waste, wet waste. We don't bother about it. We combine both again and we dispose the waste. So it is just my talk is an awareness. So let us begin a change with ourselves. Let us change our homes. Let us create an awareness at our homes. So and regarding this industrialization also, we should there should be some safe monitoring measures because Bhopal gas tragedy, all of you know about the Bhopal gas tragedy. Methyl isocyanate has been released because of just one mistake. The alarm failed, so it was released on the midnight, so everybody had to inhale that gas. Nobody knew what happened. So the doctors never knew the treatment, they just knew to give the cough syrup. So LG polymer gas leakage during COVID, we also know the story. So then Cuyahoga River. So safe industrialization, safer measurements, monitoring agents, sensors we should set up so that there will be safer communities and in order to avoid pollution. This is the Cuyahoga River in Ohio. It caught fire nearly 6 times around 1962 because of the industrial waste and chemicals which are dumped into this Cuyahoga River. So, and about Bhopal tragedy, the India Today gave up a story like this, the unfinished story of Bhopal, 1984. And a small child was also found in the debris. This is all because of unsafe industrial practices. This is the 11th and 12th principle of green chemistry, inherently safe chemistry. So this is the analysis of the tragedy. Doctors did not know the proper treatment except giving cough syrup. So this is a joke or whatever, the future of us if we don't act to all these principles, if we are not responsible. We know in Delhi, oxygen stations are set up, pure oxygen stations because of the pollution. They are paying money and inhaling pure oxygen. So if we do not act or if we do not change ourselves, our lifestyle and the way we live, I have taken this from a chemistry textbook, green chemistry. Maybe we'll end up like this, carrying our own oxygen bottle. So let us all take an oath to change ourselves, to change our families and our communities. I thank the the organizers of this seminar, and Dean Sir particularly for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Yeah, actually, I requested Madam to share her thoughts about green chemistry. Everything is green, as I said in the beginning. Yes, the message she has given is very pertinent. Let the change comes from within. You should be the change maker. You should be aware of what is happening around. But awareness and the intention will be the first step. Then, as Venkateswara said, segregation is another key point. You should segregate waste and non-waste, wet and dry, good and bad. So that is how we should segregate thoughts also. So you don't clutter your mind with unnecessary stuff. So first of all, you should reduce your screen time, read the books, because knowledge is enormous. You have seen yesterday Kumar sir's presentation. At his age, being a so thorough professional and so busy with leading chartered accountant firms, still he is able to concentrate on such subject, which is very mundane and routine and tough to be explained. So we have seen the experts here. They spend a lot of time and energy. They build their knowledge levels at the same time. Venkateswara is a classical example. He is the man of action. So he built his business from small idea. Ideas will change the nation. So we strongly believe discuss about ideas, don't discuss about the people or events. But to some extent discuss about our seminar as an event for some time. But my suggestion to you is always try to discuss the ideas, how you should solve the community problems, related problems, problems relating with you. Because every problem of community is personal problem. So in that sense, we strongly believe this seminar has kindled the spirit of some awareness, as Madam has said, that this is nothing but creation of awareness and advocacy. So we believe that this has been done by professionals, and this is just we have facilitated the networking with all these people so that you can explore further. So I think it is the lunchtime. I profusely thank once again all the participants being with us patiently, and all the experts still are listening. Sir, our students should imbibe the listening skills from the professionals. So you just try to understand in most of the seminars, normally the resource persons will leave after their session. But yesterday we have seen Professor P.S. Kumar has sat throughout the day. And today his flight is at 12 o'clock. He came at 9 o'clock. He is here up to 10:30. That shows how they are interested in listening to others. So these skills you must imbibe. Nobody will tell you this appears to be a very small step, but try to understand. As I said yesterday, I think so. You should have self-control, self-direction, and self-belief. Nobody will help you. Try to understand. You should help others. When you help others, you will be empowered. Otherwise, you are entitled. You know, come out of this entitlement concept. Be empowered. Be empowered means you should have the knowledge, you should have the application. You should at least think. So don't depend on others. So that is how this particular seminar is designed. But my suggestion to you is design your own life. Okay? This level is not good enough. So we are waiting for principal actually, that's why I'm extending. But anyhow, I think one or two small paper presenters are here. I mean, for brief, they can come here and present the papers. Some students, RVR College, if you want to present, yes, come.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Kartikeya, and she is my partner Hemant Lakshmi. We are from RER and JC College of Engineering. We are excited to present our topic on ESG adoption in healthcare and the role of regulatory bodies in Andhra Pradesh. The definition: ESG means environmental, social, and governance. Environmental stands for focuses on the organizational impact on environment, including waste management, carbon footprint, energy efficiency, and water conservation, and sustainable practices. And adding to in healthcare related areas, the our previous presenters told that bio-waste. Biomedical waste is a big thing in the environmental causes, and the social stands for S. S is how an organization manages employee relations, community engagement, and patient care quality, diversity, equity, and overall social impact. Adding to the healthcare related issues, hospitalities, clinics like such as implementing the healthcare in every rural background areas, and the governance evaluates corporate ethics, transparency, and decision making process, data privacy, and regulatory compliance, and leadership accountability. Introduction: the adoption of environmental, social, and governance principles is reshaping healthcare in Andhra Pradesh, ensuring sustainable, ethical, and social responsible medical practices. Regulatory bodies play a crucial role in enforcing sustainability policies, ethical governance frameworks, and social impact initiatives. See, government is ready to focus on the healthcare related ESG implementations in various ways, but in ground reality, application of ESG practices may cost more to the government, and it is very difficult to monitor every hospital or healthcare institute in design framework. Next. Need of the study. The increasing demand for sustainable healthcare necessitates a structured approach to ESG integration. Regulatory bodies play a pivotal role in ensuring healthcare institutions adopt environmentally responsible, socially equitable, and ethically governed practices. This study is essential to identify gaps in ESG compliance and propose regulatory improvements and promote a sustainable healthcare system in Andhra Pradesh. Aim: we analyze the role of regulatory bodies in driving ESG integration within the Andhra Pradesh healthcare sector. Objectives. Objective 1. To access the role of regulatory bodies in ensuring environmental sustainability in healthcare facilities, such as healthcare facilities in our government hospitals is very not nominal to the standards. The regulator bodies should be environmentally sustainable. To evaluate the effectiveness of governance policies within the healthcare sector. The governance policies in healthcare sector are based on the, the government and their plans, schemes, etc. They vary from government to government. To analyze the impact of ESG related regulations on healthcare, to identify key challenges faced by regulatory bodies in healthcare institutions, and to recommend policy measures and strategies. Study on the literature review. Study on regulatory policies significantly influence the ESG adoption in healthcare. We find some research gaps such as lack of region specific studies, limited research exists on how regulatory bodies influence ESG adoption in Andhra Pradesh healthcare sector. See, there are very limited resources on this topic where we can find a full information about the ESG implementation. Implementation challenges under explored. There are insufficient analysis of comparative barriers, policy effectiveness, and long-term sustainability impacts of ESG regulations. How do regulatory bodies influence ESG? First thing is government policies. Without prior government policies, we can't implement the ESG into the system. Financial viability. Implementation of ESG is highly costly. So financial viability is needed much more. Technological advancements. See, nowadays technology emerging new technologies day by day, like such as AI introduced in recent thing that a student from Guntur introduced the AI-based heart diagnosis system where you can accurately find the heart diseases like so many with 99% of accuracy. All this happened to AI based technology. Organizational culture. Next. Discussion. How do regulatory bodies influence ESG integration on the Pradesh healthcare sector? Business adoption strategies such as regulatory compliance and certification, green infrastructure investments, and technology driven ESG integration and public private partnerships. The challenges faced in this emerging ESG is high implementing cost, and regulatory compiling gaps and resistance to change and data transparency and accountability issues. The future directions and strategic implications are region-specific ESG challenges, innovative compiling models, and integrating advanced technology, AI-driven sustainability tracking, and strategic partnership between government bodies and public-private partnerships. Conclusion. The key findings of this study is stricter enforcement, financial incentives, and stakeholder collaboration, and adopt transparent governance models, invest in sustainable infrastructure, and prioritize social responsibility. Strengthen regulatory frameworks and provide ESG training and encourage public-private partnerships. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Now I would like to invite Kader from BPSAT College to present ESG sustainability.
Good afternoon. Hmm? Good afternoon to dignitaries. This is Sheikh Abdul Khader from First MBA. This is Sheikh Abdul Khader from First MBA of Department of Business Administration from Prasad V. Potluri Siddhartha Institute of Technology. Today I am going to discuss about the CSR best practices in India from a top three recognized companies that are Reliance Industries and Adani Enterprises, and then the TCS, which is also known as Tata Consultancy Services. And we can now, I'm going to discuss about the brief introduction of CSR. According to Union Nations Industrial Development Organizations, UNIDO, corporate social responsibility is a management concept whereby companies integrate social and environmental concerns in their business operations and interactions with their stakeholders. And CSR is generally understood as being the way through which a company achieves a balance of economic, environmental, and social benefits. Now I'm going to discuss about the brief objectives of my case study. I done this case study by comparing the financial records of three companies of financial year 2023 to 24, and then I decided to compare this which areas they are mainly focusing, and they are also by comparing the effectiveness and impact of the study, and then I focused on the spendings of the CSR activities, and then provide recommendations for them to improve. As per it is only my concern how they improve in future, and then I used a methodology of compared to study analysis, and I found that they mainly focused on education, healthcare, environment, and women empowerment, and young man empowerment, and then they have decided to do rural development too, and analyzed the impact of them in detail. Okay, this is the comparison of three companies. Firstly, we can see that there are spendings respectively of three companies, and then we can see that the foundation which are running that CSR initiatives, the Reliance Industries CSR initiatives were run by Reliance Foundation, and then Tata Consultancy Services CSR Foundation is run by Tata Charitable Trust, and the Adani Enterprises CSR foundations were run by Adani Foundations. We can majorly see that there are key focus areas of all the three companies, and I'm going to discuss about the findings. They majorly focused on infrastructure, large scale investments, and then TCS mainly focused on digital innovation and IT innovation technologies to young personals and young to development the employment skills, and led the CSR activities to empower the women too. And the Adani Enterprises mainly focused on rural development and community centric, and they mainly uh, go through the disaster relief in Assam floods 2022. For they done so many donations to that, and we can see that common findings is the sustainable and inclusive growth from three companies. And this is the last 5 years CSR spendings of the three companies, and we can see that in 2021-22, the Adani is collaborated with another Adani company, another Adani biogas company to make that 7.82. It's roughly around 4.5 for only Adani Enterprises. When we combine these two, they combinedly spend CSR amount that 7.82, and we can see that there is a gradually increase in CSR spendings from 2019 to 2024 financial years. And then we can observe that there is only one decrease in the TCS has in 2023 and 2024 financial year. And these are my findings and implications. And the CSR spendings, and most all the companies spent nearly more than 2% of their average annual profit. And then implementation strategies, the Reliance and Adani majorly focused on large-scale social initiatives, and technology is driven by the TCS companies, and they mainly focused on AI for education and skill development. And impact assessment, we can see that Reliance impacted reached crores of beneficiaries in terms of education and healthcare, TCS is benefited the thousands with the digital upskilling and STEM programs. Adani is focused on disaster relief and rural livelihoods and positively impacting thousands others. Okay, we can see that implications also. It's based upon industry specific CSR approaches, sustainable and scalability, CSR as business strategy. And my conclusion is that all three companies are pioneers in CSR and then contributing significantly to nation building. CSR is evolving from philanthropy to a business strategy to develop their businesses. And then future focus is scalability, sustainability, and deeper community engagement. Companies must continue innovating to maximize social impact. Thank you for providing this opportunity.
Now I would like to invite our principal, Dr. M. Ramesh Garu, onto the stage. Please welcome. And I also invite Dean and Professor Rajesh Jampala Garu onto the dais. Please welcome. Now I also invite Dr. M. Manorajri Garu onto the dais. Please welcome, ma'am. Please come. Welcome. Now I hand over my proceedings to Dean, sir.
Yeah, I think it's high time for us, but anyhow, this is technically we call it as valedictory session. So we are supposed to do this and we are doing it. I'm feeling proud, very elated because the idea conceptualized maybe 7 8 months back been utilized in this form, and that is exemplified the national talks delivered by experts. I should say, sir, this is truly national seminar because we got experts from West Bengal and we also got from Chennai steps, and we got from Bilaspur and Raipur and Sambalpur and I think Bhubaneswar, all the resource persons. But as far as papers are concerned, we got almost 48 research papers from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and other areas also. And I once again thank the ICS for initially supporting us with the funding of 40,000 rupees to organize this particular event. And that's why we call it as ICSR sponsored national seminar. But ICSSR is nothing but Indian Council for Social Science Research. It's one of the apex body of social science research. So we also profusely thank Coal India Limited. As you are all aware, we have the representative of Coal India sitting in front of us. They supported us this event. They deputed 4 of their officers. Not only that, also announced they will be both sponsors for this particular event. As you're all aware, Coal India is in the forefront, always doing ESR in a very big way. And not only that, it's the world's largest coal miner, coal producing company. It's a very tough job. I think I've seen the movie like Kalapattar. How many of you might have seen the movie since Kalapattar? And really contrast and contrast. The angry young man of Amitabh is exemplified for Kalapattar. That movie will highlight how tough it is to dig the mine from the underground mine. Coming back to this seminar, this is served by belief. And now I request our principal to do his message.
So, respected resource persons of the dais and my colleagues on the dais, and off the dais, my dear students, good afternoon to all of you. So I know very well you are so hungry. I congratulate the Department of Business Administration for organizing this national seminar today, which is sponsored by CSSR. This is a second event in this term. ICSR sanctioned another project also in the Department of Economics, and this is for the Department of Management. So we got two projects, ICSR projects. So all of you, my dear students, all of you should concentrate on the suggestions given by the professor. For all the so experts from the various fields, they are doing all those. So out of their experience, they are giving certain type of the suggestions or type of the things, whatever you get as, and always you keep them in your mind and try to improve your proficiency in subject in concerned subjects and also language and also so-called professionalism is to be there. Beginning. As a MBA student, to do professionalism, not simply sitting in the hall and listening something, not like that. You have to participate actively in all these so-called seminars or something. And at least in the coming years, participate actively and out something out of these seminars. That's very, very important. So, once again, I congratulate all the second department members and thank each and every resource person who put their experience and expertise to the students. Thank you very much. And also, all the students who are sitting here and patiently and listening to all the lectures. Thank you. Thank you. So we are very much delighted to release the seminar proceedings in the form of a book. Now I request all the resource persons, Harish and Sasi, Venkaswara, Mark Krishna, and those initials. Yeah. Yeah, I request our principal sir to issue a certificates for the participants symbolically for 2 or 3 participants here. I request Dr. Srinivas Rao D of PVP Siddhartha Institute of Technology to come and take his certificate. And he is also alumni of this particular college. He did his MCom and PhD in guidance. Now he is a faculty in some other college and our sister institute. Now I request Dr. Dadorian Naik, another alumni of this college who did his PhD and now he is assistant professor in Department of Business Administration, PVP Siddhartha.
ఉన్నారు వీళ్ళు. చదువు 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 ఉన్నోళ్ళు చదువు అరవి అని పిలు.
I also invite L. Kartikeya from RVR JC College of Engineering. K. Hemant Lakshmi from RVR JC College of Engineering. And Krishnaveni from Acharya Nagarjuna University. B. Kameshwara Sastry from TJPS College. Yes, Anita Devi from TJPS College. R. Sirisha from TJPS College. Aruna Jyotirmayi from TJPS College. Sheikh Abdul Qadir from PET Siddhartha Institute of Technology. V. Srinivas from PET Siddhartha College of Arts and Science. Reena Madhuri from PET Siddhartha College of Arts and Science. B. Rupasri. Nagasri Vani. Vaishnavi A. from PET Siddhartha College of Arts and Science. Yes, Vennala. K. Hema Sai Sri Tulasi. P. Tejashwini. Vaishnavi Gupta. Sujata M. from PVP Siddhartha Institute of Technology.
ఏం టైం ఏం చదవను తీసే ఇంకా చాలు ఇది మన దగ్గర పెట్టి తర్వాత పని వస్తుంది జరిగిందా నేషనల్ Yeah. I request everybody to stand up for the national anthem. I request all the delegates to move to the first floor for the lunch. You can have your lunch and you can proceed.